Well, hey everybody, and once again, welcome back to Kiki's Kitchen. This is Happy Father's Day, and I am making a Father's Day dinner for my wonderful father-in-law, Jimmy. He is just a kind and dear man, and we're lucky to have him in our lives for sure. And I am making ribs, my mama's ribs, and I'm making mashed potatoes, and I'll make some gravy with the ribs. And I'm going to make a salad that is a yummy salad. And so I figured I'd take you along with me. So I know you've seen me do mashed potatoes before, but it's probably been a while, like a Thanksgiving kind of a thing. So for all of you who like mashed potatoes, but really it was the thing your mama made and you don't really remember how to do it, here we are today. So I guess I would tell you that probably the best potato for mashed potatoes is a Yukon Gold, but my husband would tell you that the best potato for mashed potatoes is any potato you happen to have on the shelf. And that's a true story. Pretty much everything works. Yukon Golds are not as starchy as some baking potatoes, but it all works. So whatever you happen to have. So peeled them all, and I usually, if you're trying to figure out how many you should, think about it. A potato per person usually does it. So a potato of this size per person plus one for the pot, right? So that's about kind of how I go. I cut them down the middle, and then the whole point of how you cut them is to, and see my hollow back knife, it doesn't stick to my knife. I love this. It's a Rachel Ray knife. They don't make them anymore, but you can look up online hollow back knives or hit me up on private message and I'll send you a link for one. But anyway, the key to it is just so that you all have them a similar size, so that they all cook evenly. So that's the first thing. Wipe this board off, get a little water off of here. And then I always add garlic, cloves of garlic to mine. Does not overpower it by any stretch. And how I do it, you can do this with the side of a knife. I happen to have a garlic smasher, you know I do. And you just smack it hard and it'll break that seal and peel. She says, but is it working? No. I'd have to smack it again. Nope, gotta smack it then. There we go. That ought to do it. So, gotta smack it a little harder sometimes. Now, what I also do, which, you know what, the chefs on TV, and I am certainly no chef, but they don't, they don't seem to mind this stem. See that little woody end? I don't like it. So I cut it off. So cut it off, don't cut it off. But I don't like to get any kind of woody stem. And it seems like that must have happened to me. So I have 3 large pieces. Don't be afraid of this. That's a lot of, and it just gives it a little tiny bit of a background flavor. No kind of a big deal. So I'm gonna cover these with cold water. You want cold water. No matter what you're doing, if you're doing pasta, always start with cold water, because the timing, when it says like for pasta, 8 to 12 minutes or 10 to 12 minutes, they are assuming you're starting with cold water. Plus I have heard that there's more sediment in hot water, more iron or oil, whatever it is that's in your water. So start with cold water. Enough to cover your potatoes. See? And I put it on here, uncovered, hang on, heavy. And I do not salt it until it starts to boil, because it will just fall to the bottom. Once it starts to boil, I will generously salt the water, because then it will float in amongst the potatoes. But prior to that, it will not. So it'll just hit the bottom and scar your pan. So I will come back to you so here's the thing. It is 10 minutes to 2. My ribs are in the oven. They should be done around 4:30-ish. And I'm doing my mashed potatoes. Well, I'm doing my mashed potatoes now so that they're done, and I will actually let them cool, and then I will cover them with foil, and I will put them back in the oven about 20 minutes before we're going to eat, and just heat them back up. So I get to enjoy my father-in-law while he's here, and I don't have to be in here doing this kind of stuff. So I will be back to you and show you what I do when I mash. When I mash my potatoes, I use a little bit of milk, I use butter, and I use Dukes mayonnaise, salt and pepper. That's pretty much it. So I will be back when those are ready. Hang in there. Okay, our potatoes are nice and tender, and they break apart easily, but yet they're not mashed potatoes, so don't let them go too far. I have some butter in the bottom. I put them back in the pan to dry out just a little bit, and then I've got butter in the bottom, and I've got a little bit more butter here that I'll put in as we go. I'm sorry for the noise, but this is how I do it. Now, my husband will do it by hand, but he's not here, so I'm doing it with him. You get a quick mash on it, or break them up. I'm struggling here with getting it around there. There we go. Now, and hold on a second, and I'll get right back to you. So remember, we put those whole garlic cloves in there. Well, remember, they also, first off, when they're cooked, they mellow out in flavor and just give you that background flavor. But they soften just like the potato does. So it mashes right in there, so you don't have any chunks of it. Now, this is a family thing. It is a Southern thing, but it is a good thing. And that is Dukes mayonnaise. Now, I did salt and pepper, or I did salt the water after it came to the boil, as I told you I would do. But I won't salt it again until after I get them the consistency that I want, because the Dukes mayonnaise, has salt in it, right? So I don't want to overdo it. So let me mix this in. And you know what I forgot? I forgot to grab a little milk. That can't be good. Stay. Let me grab a splash of milk. And a little bit more butter. Do I have a knife out? No. Well, I got several, but not one for that. So, our friends are coming over, and Daddy and Beth are coming over, and I want to be done. So this is going to be done and in my bowl, and I'll put it in the microwave and just whir it around, and it'll be good as gold. So I won't have to do anything. All my dishes will be done, and that'll be awesome. I'm going to throw a little splash of milk in here. Take the gummies out. Nobody likes gummy taters. And here we go again. Sorry for the noise, I really am. But cooking's a noisy business. The best part about being the potato masher is you get to taste it all. So, see where we are. Creamy. Need salt and pepper. But other than that, they're pretty darn good. You salt and pepper it to your taste. Give it one more. Seriously, this looks really good to me. So, delicious. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in this bowl, which fits in my microwave. And then I will cover them. I'll dot them with butter and I'll put them in the microwave for about 3 minutes. Perfect. Ready to go to the table. So that's how simple that is to make ahead. Next thing I'm making is a salad. Stay with me. And so anyway, I'll show you the whole picture of the whole dinner on a plate, which these mashed potatoes, but they're done. Bye.